Hey guys, it is RS-HD and welcome to a Premiere Pro editing tutorial video. A lot of you have been asking me how I edit my videos and what program do I actually use to create the content that I put out for you guys. A lot of people have been saying that they're using the Sony Vegas Pro and they're having a lot of issues with it and they're looking for something else to use. I swear by Premiere Pro, it's very friendly, user-friendly, and it's very basic to use, and editing is a lot of fun for me. So, the first thing you want to do is open up your Premiere Pro. And you'll have a screen that looks something sort of like this, where you've got your program, you've got your timeline, you've got your project, and you've got your audio clip. That is the best setup that I can possibly say for creating content for YouTube. The first thing you want to do is double click on the bottom left corner here, and then find your video footage that you want. Now I've got an Audacity file here, I've got my webcam, I've got some background music, and I've also got my game footage as well. So I'm just going to highlight all of them and click OK. And that's going to bring it down into the nice little basket here, ready to bring onto our timeline. So the first thing you want to do is find your game footage because it's set to 1080p or 720p. So just left click, drop and drag, and that will bring it straight onto the timeline like so. Very easy stuff. Okay, let's bring that over a bit more. Now how I do it, guys, is I find my footage, and down the bottom, at the top here where it says 2MP4 is the actual video file. Down the bottom here is the video file with audio. And I just bring that up, and as you see, these spikes that you see is the actual game sounds. If you have a listen, you've got all the game sounds, okay? Now, the games always seem pretty loud, so the first thing that I go and do is I find on here on the left-hand side, the game audio is really loud. So I'm going to bring that down to, say, 9. So you still got sound, but it's not that high-pitched sound in your ear. The next thing that I do, because I use a webcam, is I go and get my webcam footage, and I'll just drop and drag that onto the timeline as well, whilst clicking and dragging down the audio part of the webcam. Now that we've got our webcam up on screen, we can double click on that and we can adjust that wherever we want to put it. Now I usually put myself down the bottom right corner away from the game footage, and I can just bring that down and shrink it down just that little bit so it sits nice and snug in the bottom right corner. Now, the next thing that I go and do, guys, is we don't need any of this. We just want the green screen and we want everything cut away. So since we've got this highlighted, we'll go up to Effects. And with Effects, let's just bring this up a bit more. With Effects, we want to go to something called Ultra Key. Now, Ultra Key is you use a color picker and you take away the green screen. So we're just going to drop and drag that down over to Video Clip. And to get Ultra Key, we just type in Ultra. And that will bring up Ultra Key. Once you've dragged that onto the actual timeline, you're going to have something called a key color. And you're going to have a color picker to choose from. Okay? Leave that. We don't need that yet. Okay? Because what we want to do is we want to bring up crop. Because we don't want any of this background. So we'll just grab our crop and we'll drop that down onto the timeline also. So now that you've got the Ultra Key for your color picker and you've got your crop settings, okay? Then what I do is on the left here under crop, on left we're going to left click and hold. And we're just going to left or right drag. So it's just a little corner cut off on the left hand side. And we'll also do the same again by left clicking on top and just dragging down like so. That's all I do, guys. That's all I do for that. Now we go up to the key color and use our color picker, and we're just going to click on that with a left click, and we're going to click on the darkest points of the green screen. So we're just going to click on this spot right here, and you'll see some highlighted gray sort of color that this still hasn't been taken out. The setting here is set on default. If you happen to click on that and go aggressive, it takes away that extra bit of color. And as you see now, everything is gone from the background. Okay, we are recording. Beautiful. So now we can move that back and we can go back to editing. So what we've done so far is we've just put in our webcam footage with a green screen, and we've just taken out all the green screen from behind in 2 easy steps. The next step that I go and do is I grab my Audacity footage, which is right here, and I bring that down underneath my wave format here and just bring that down as well. So I'm seeing everything firsthand, how everything's matching up. And if you look very closely, the audio is not matching up at all. How to fix your audio to match your voice is basically left click and drag to those 2 audio formats. Once they are actually highlighted, we're going to right click and go synchronize. Now this is going to actually synchronize my voice from my webcam to the voice on my wave format from Audacity, and always click audio and then click OK. As you see, everything is now matched up perfectly. Everything's going to match up. As you see, when I do my clap test, it matches up perfectly, and that's what we're after. If we just bring our cursor all the way back to the start here, this little slider down the bottom here can actually zoom in to what we actually need, and we just bring that to match up perfectly. Okay, and then we highlight everything again and just bring that all the way back. Beautiful. Now that we've got everything set up perfectly, this is what I do when I start recording. I'll say a couple of things. Okay, we are recording. A bit further on, what you'll see is I will have my webcam up, which, hello, that's me right now recording. I'm recording this, and I'll also bring up my Audacity that I'm recording with now. And I will press the red button here, which will be green, and I'll also click record at the same time pressing my screen capture. I'll let it run for about 4 or 5 seconds, then I will put myself in a particular key order. For instance, at the top right here, I'll say Audacity, then I'll drop down to my webcam and I'll say red button, then I'll say clap test 1, 2, 3, which as you see down here is the 1, 2, 3. Once all that's done, everything is going to be synced up perfectly. I can drop this down, and then say, hey guys, it is Zaris HD and welcome back, etc., etc. Once you get to that point of the clap test, I can then go over here to the choices of buttons to choose from, and this one here is a razor tool. If you click that, hold shift, and then put your line on the marker where you want it, and then just left click, it's going to chop everything that you've got to that point. Then all you have to do is just click on the selection tool, highlight everything beforehand, right click, clear. Then just bring everything back to the start again. And as you see, okay, so this video is just pretty much basically explaining how to actually make a video in Premiere Pro for YouTube and getting all the right settings and whatnot. So basically I'm just going to be talking some random stuff on this part of the video, and just to show you how I match up voices from Audacity into my webcam to sync it up perfectly and so on. So there you go. So now that I've just got all that and I've said all that, and as you explained before, we will go back to our razor tool, find the line where you want to end it, hold shift and click, go back to our pointer tool, highlight everything after that, right click and clear. So now all you're left with is perfect footage of gameplay footage and your synced up voice. The next step that I do now is hear the tone of my voice and the sound of the game footage, which the game footage is seen to be pretty loud still. I'm getting all the right settings. So I'll drop down my game sounds, try it again, settings and whatnot. So basically I'm just so my voice is nice and crisp and it's very loud so you guys can see. The step after that, I will find my video footage, which is the webcam footage, and I will right click and I will go unlink, because we don't want the two audios together. We don't want the Audacity file footage sounding, and we don't want the video quality from the video either. So we just click unlink, and that's just going to separate the video camera footage with the Audacity. Once again, we just click on the selection tool, click on that, and then clear. So now all you hear is one wave, which is from Audacity, which is the very clear product. I'm going to be talking some random stuff on this part of the video, and just to show you how I match up voices. So there you go. So that's how I go and do my stuff as well. Now the next thing you want to do as well, if you wanted to add music, is just bring on your music. You can put it up there, or we can drag it down here. It's up to you. And then just bring it down again. I like to see everything in wave format so you can see where it spikes up the most. And as you hear now, the music is very loud. Okay. So what you want to do, which the music is always on the right hand side, is bring that down to -39 or further. And if we hear it again, so this video is just pretty much basically explaining how you can't really hear it. So the game sounds, sorry, the wave sounds here, we can bring that up a bit more to 23 to actually make a video in Premiere Pro for YouTube and getting all the right settings and whatnot. So you can adjust the actual volume judging from the left hand side, judging from the timeline as well. Let's take out the game sounds. So I'm just going to unlink the game sounds like so, and now all you'll hear is my voice, the music, and just see the footage. So basically I'm just going to be talking some random stuff on this part of the video, and just to show you how I match up voices from Audacity into my webcam. And there you go. And that's all I do. Once again, I don't want all of that music, so I'll just bring it right to the end, click, and remove the excess. And as you see, we've got a perfect footage ready to render. Once you're satisfied with everything there, you've got your footage right from the start and to the end, and you want to ready this now to upload to YouTube, you go up to File, and you go down to Export Media. You'll have another box pop up on your screen, and it will give you all the details that you would like to see. As for instance, video is 1920 by 1080 at 60 FPS, and this is made in HD as well. So you just rename it here, and these are all my videos that, you know, are lossless files, and I'll just type in tester, and I'll click save. As you see, it is now output name is tester, and I'll click export. Now it shouldn't take all that long at all, judging from the actual size, depending on the size of your computer and how powerful it is, as mine is like rendering at 30 seconds at high quality. And it's just very easy to use as well. I'm still learning quite a lot about Premiere Pro, but for what I use it for, creating Minecraft tutorials or gameplay videos, this is the perfect setup program to use. And it doesn't crash, it doesn't glitch out like Sony Vegas Pro does all the time. So now we've got our footage, it's all done, we can actually go and find it. So these are all the videos that I've pre-rendered. As you see, the latest video was the Hummer. I'll just go and find tester, which is this one here. So now that will be a lossless file, which is quite high in size. As you see here, it's only 35.2 meg in size. Now, if you wanted a program, if this was like 60 gig and you wanted to shrink it down but keep everything as crisp as 1080p 60 FPS, you use a program called HandBrake. And this will be in the description down below as well to go and get. What you want to do is grab your footage, tester, and drop and drag into this bar down the bottom. Okay, now that's in the program HandBrake. You want a large file because it's going to probably be like 60 gig or something like that. And you want to click on large file. And you want to keep it as MP4 format. And you also want to click web optimized. Down the bottom here, you can keep everything as is, but then you want to click on video. Down the bottom here, it says use advanced tab instead. You want to click that to optimize the video. And over here, the quality, you can either have it as constant or you can have a bit rate. I click on this and I click as 5,000. And I think you can do better quality. You can have 6,000, 8,000, and so on. I stick with 5,000. Audio, I'll click on this and I'll go down to Dolby Pro Logic and I'll just click on stereo. And the bit rate I always put up to the highest of 384. From this point, I'll click on advanced. And down the bottom here, it says times 264 encoder options. Now, an old friend of mine actually gave me a code to use, which is in the folder, which I'll get from the desktop. So we'll go over here and into the tutorial. Here's the codes for using HandBrake. If you're using for 30 frames per second, you use this code here. And don't worry, I'll post these codes in the description. And for 60 FPS frames, we'll highlight this one and we'll copy this code like so. Close that down. Close that back down, and we'll just paste that in there like so. Now, before we paste this in here, have a quick look at the screen over here, and it will slightly change. Okay, so a maximum bframes will be 2. Once that is done, you click Browse, and find the folder that you want to transfer it to, and just call it something. So let's call it Test Upload, because this is going to be the finished product just before you launch it to YouTube. Save and start. Now what this is going to do is actually going to take a file that's so freaking big and it's going to minimize it to something so small, and it'll only take a fraction of the time. As you see here, it's going to be up to 30 seconds. About 30 seconds to do as well, and the quality and the sound will be just as crisp as the lossless, and it'll take a fraction of the time to upload whilst keeping everything in mint condition. So as you see here, we're up to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is now complete. As you see, Q finished. So what we can do now is we will quickly go to YouTube video and into the ready to upload folder. And as you see, here it is, test upload. The file now is only 17.7 meg from 35. And if we click play to have a look once again, okay, so everything is still the same. Is just pretty much basically. So you've actually shrunk it by half. So that means the upload time will be shrunk by half. And that is how I do my videos for YouTube using Audacity, which we're recording with right now. And that's free to use. We also use a program called HandBrake, which is also free to use. A standard webcam, hello once again. Standard webcam once again, just a Logitech webcam. And a program that you usually get if it's DxTory, GeForce Experience Shadowplay and whatnot, which will result in a perfect video setup. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's actually helped quite a lot of people. I've never done one of these tutorial videos before, so I was a bit nervous. But stick around for the next video. I'm going to do a Photoshop tutorial, how to create my thumbnails and how to create kind of thumbnails from cutting out around to everything else. Be sure to have a look at my gameplay channel if you want to sit back, relax, and have a bit of fun watching some gameplay footage. And yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Links rolling on screen and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Zarius HD, and I shall see you on the next video. Bye-bye.